Yeah.
McLachlin, it's wonderful to have you here. You mentioned something about how during your career you were mostly in the minority. I'm a third-year law student. I'm going to a firm with mostly men for my articles, as are a lot of my colleagues. I wonder if you could speak to how you survived and thrived throughout your legal career, facing similar circumstances.
Well, first of all, I think that you have to recognize that human beings are human beings, and that goes for men as well as women. There's a lot of really nice men, and there's a lot of men committed to gender equality and to helping women find an equal place. And I was fortunate that I was able to find that. Now, I did have negative experiences from time to time. I mean, that was a long time ago, right? And the stereotypes were much stronger than now, and I'm not going to pretend that there weren't occasions when perhaps I thought a person's attitude wasn't what it should be. But you know, that's going to hit you anywhere in life. You're going to find people who are bigoted and people who are unreasonable. And what you have to do, I believe, is just do your best, overlook that, and move on. If you get hung up by every person whom you think is not being fair to you or not being reasonable, you're going to get so tangled up in your own frustration and anger that you're not able to do your job and move out. So anyway, for what it's worth, I always just moved on. And that, I think, was the best policy, at least for me. And people will recognize if you're working hard and if you're doing good work and if you're a good person and an honest person and have the integrity that's required to be a lawyer. And that recognition will come. And so I would just say, don't let it get in your way. Don't be too frightened of it. Just do your best. Yes?
Hi there. I wonder how much of your job is involved in training or guiding the younger justices?
The younger justices? I consider myself one of the if any judge on the court ever heard the word training or guidance, they would immediately, well, I won't even contemplate. We operate, this is a very good question, in fact, and I'm not trying to put you down at all. It is a very good question. I think what you're asking is, how do the justices work together? How does the Chief Justice work with the other justices, and so on? And we function as 9 equal people. I don't have any more power than any of the others. My vote counts the same as all the others. That is the way it has to be. I would never, ever suggest to a justice that, they should change their opinion or what they should decide or anything like that. That would be wrong. And nor would it be accepted, which is right, and rightly so. That said, it may be that with the Office of Chief Justice, there's a recognition by your colleagues that, somebody's got to sort of look at the big picture sometimes on administrative matters, certainly. And so there may be a degree of deference would be the wrong word, but there's a respect for the Office of Chief Justice. But at the same time, I'd like to emphasize that every justice operates individually and independently. And that's why we have such great discussions, and we're dealing with some very, very difficult issues, as you can appreciate. And we have 9 people from different areas of the country, different backgrounds, and they sometimes start off and sometimes end up with very different views of a case or how a legal issue should be decided. And in the course of finding our way to the final decision, whatever that may be, we have very open and frank discussions, and people are not afraid to say that I'm wrong. that they don't agree with me. It's a very open and equal place. I don't see myself as guiding, but I see myself as a helper. I think the role of the Chief Justice, as I see it, is to do what the Chief Justice can do to create an atmosphere where each judge functions to their maximum potential. And that's what I try to do. I try to be there to help and to facilitate. But these are 9 wonderful people. They're all experienced, and quite frankly, they don't need a lot of guidance. They sometimes can benefit from help and facilitation.